Life-altering choices are hard to make sometimes, but hopefully I can make it easier on you. Hello guys, I am the Honest Hierophant, and in today's video, we are trying to discover whether or not you should stay or should you go in your relationship, honestly. In today's video, we have 3 different tarot decks, and we have 3 different crystals to choose from. For pile number 1, we have This Might Hurt deck with a candy fluorite palm, and the zodiacs associated with the candy fluorite palm is Capricorn and Pisces. For pile number 2, we have the Crystal Visions Tarot with a purple Mookaite tower, and the purple Mookaite tower's zodiac signs associated with it is Cancer and Capricorn. And then for pile number 3, we have the Light Seers Tarot with a Kambaba Jasper tower, and the zodiacs associated with it is Leo, Virgo, and Libra. The zodiacs associated with each crystal does not mean that those are the only zodiacs involved. It is just another way for you to be able to pick your pile if one of these zodiacs fit your big 3. But if you feel called to the deck, or if you feel called to just the crystal itself, that is perfectly fine as well. Then it might be meant for you. If none of these piles are meant for you, then that is okay. Just leave it for the next person. There will also be spiritual properties down in the description of each crystal to help you pick your pile as well, so be sure to check out those properties, and it might add some extra clarity to your readings. Thank you so much for being here. Feel free to pick your pile now, and I'll catch you in your pile. Hello my pile number 1s, welcome into your section of the video. We are trying to figure out, should you stay or should you go relationship edition. We're trying to figure out if the relationship that you are in is best fitted for you. Whether you have chosen the This Might Hurt tarot deck or whether you have chosen the Candy Fluorite Palm Crystal. The cards I have on the table, they have already been pre-shuffled for you. And we're trying to figure out what is the kind of energy. The first question we're going to try to figure out is what is the kind of energy that you're currently dealing with that is making you question whether or not this person that you're currently with is the right one. Should you stay? Should you go? So let's flip over these cards first. We got the 6 of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the Justice card, the Knight of Swords, and then lastly we have the 8 of Swords. So I feel like there is some energy here about finances. I feel like there is a financial struggle, a financial constraint. Maybe you see differently than your partner does about finances. Maybe your partner is really willy-nilly and free-flowing and willing to spend money carelessly. Okay, this person is willing to maybe not really see that they're coming close to like a really bad situation in their bank account. Maybe they're not really seeing that they are too loose with their money and they're not being frugal enough. They are willing to maybe buy you nice things. They're willing to maybe go out and enjoy a nice dinner like all the time, every time. Maybe they're willing to throw away their money at the bar. Maybe they're willing to throw away their money into something that they're really interested in. That's more of like a hobby or an activity. And they don't necessarily think about going in debt. They don't really think about losing all their money that they are trying to build up with you. And I feel like you have a specific energy that you're pretty proud about what you earn. You're pretty proud about how you spend your money. You're pretty proud about what you're trying to build in terms of like what you want out of life. And this person kind of clashes with that energy. This person isn't necessarily respectful in that nature. Maybe you've had talks with this person. They say they're going to do better, but they're not really wanting to do better. And that's just who they are. And you're really doubting whether or not it's ever going to improve. You're really doubting if maybe you're putting too much energy into this situation, and maybe there is some sort of hold on you that's like, but there is still that possibility. There still is that maybe piece that's holding on. And you're really trying to understand that. And that's probably like the biggest reason why you're here in this video, is you're trying to figure out what is that tie to you. Okay. And, this doesn't have to apply to everybody. If this is an energy where you think's very similar to you, but it's not exactly your energy, then maybe it's specifically for somebody else. But maybe this reading is still for you. So keep holding on and we'll try to discover more about this energy. All right, let's try to see if we can find more information about like what's going on behind your back. Okay. Got the 9 of Cups, Page of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, the 7 of Pentacles, and the Moon. All right, so this kind of energy going on behind your back is what this other person is kind of, exploring into. Why this relationship might be hurting you is because it seems like they are invested into something sort of like a craft, sort of like a job. Could even be that, Knight of Swords activity type energy where they're like investing a lot into this. And the reason why is some sort of subconscious trauma, some sort of trauma that they are not willing to work through. It could be something from their childhood. It could be something that they've experienced with relationships or connections with people. And it's really made them doubt themselves. And it seems like they are empowered enough to kind of explore it now. Maybe this has, really created this energy within inside them to really invest a lot of their energy or a lot of their time into this. They are wanting to succeed in this so badly that they're willing to pretty much throw anything at it. Or maybe they're wanting to suppress something here as well. Maybe it's not necessarily just succeeding. Maybe it is also suppression of something that they're not willing to admit, they're not willing to talk about. And maybe it's because it's not actually at the forefront of their mind. Maybe it is all subconscious that they're acting on this energy and they don't even really see it. They don't have the awareness to see this energy clearly. And that is heartbreaking, because obviously they're doing things out of impulse, they're doing things out of subconscious, and it's not fair to you, and it's not fair to them that they're having to go through this, but it is the story of their life. All right. So hopefully this is, something that helps you understand a bit better about the situation between you two. And let's see if we can take these cards up. And let's ask the question of what is the biggest problem between you two? What is the biggest problem in the relationship here? What is pile one's biggest problem? We've got the 3 of Wands. We've got the 3 of Cups. King of Cups. 7 of Wands. And we're going to have to cover this card up because it's too inappropriate. There we go. So, it seems like, to me, from this energy, the biggest problem that you have is that you're not, and it could just be the other person, since they're dealing with a lot, that they're willing to look more into the distractions. They're looking to, stay within the positive energy. They don't want to, ramble about any problems because they just want to stay in a good energy. They just want to stay maybe in like a childlike mind. Maybe they want to remain innocent to some energies that they're not really comfortable in expressing or really talking about. I feel like there is a really lack of understanding of this person's truest emotions, truest problems, not willing to communicate. There seems to be a bit more of let's go have fun, let's go have positive energy. And if we start talking about anything that's dramatic or anything that's negative, let's, go back towards the positive energies. Bring back up the happy moments, create more happy moments. And there's a really strong lack of communication here because distractions allow you to not communicate. It allows you not to resonate with feelings or with stories or the past or anything that has led up to this point. And it almost gives this false presentation that things are wrapped up in a nice, perfect bow when they're really not. It's just enough stuff caked over top of it to give it this sort of mask or decoration to appeal to the other person that everything's okay, that everything is like they say it is, everything's like how they want it to be, kind of like a movie or a fairy tale, and it's not appropriate. It's really not appropriate that they're going about it this way, okay? Let's see if we can pull some cards here about, is there any saving grace? Is there any way to revert this energy for you? Pile number one. And then we'll end it with the last big question of should you stay or should you go? Is there any way for pile number one to revert their partner's energy to a healthier energy? Got the Page of Swords coming out here. Got the Ten of Pentacles. The High Priestess. The Ace of Wands. And the Page of Wands. Whew. This is some interesting energy. I feel like if you are going to try to push a certain agenda or a certain action on this person could easily feel threatened, right? And I think they realistically want to, keep everything in their mind at a perfect place. They think that everything in their life right now is perfect. They think everything's okay. They think their family's great. They think their childhood's great. They think their connections with other people's great. But it almost seems like they're not willing to listen to themselves. They're willing to participate in any sort of distractions. They're willing to participate in any sort of positive energy. But they're not willing to listen to that. They're not willing to listen to their intuition. They're not willing to agree that there is a problem. And I feel like if anything was forced onto them too harshly, that they could run. They could easily, avoid it. They could feel terrified, mortified, and not really seeing where it's coming from. They're not really wanting to see where it's coming from. They might see it coming out of left field and be like, oh my God, like, where did, how on earth did this come about? I have no idea how this happened. That you just randomly talked to me about this situation. And I feel like it could, cause some pain. It could cause some mental struggle. But at the same time, it could also give some sort of mental stimulation to really think about it. And I feel like there's a 50-50 chance that there could be a flip side of some people, really wanting to dig into it, really wanting to participate in learning about why they have these triggers, why they have these traumas. But at the same time, I feel like half of you is like, oh no, I actually, just want to create something to mask over those problems so I can remain happy. Isn't our relationship good enough? Isn't our relationship happy and focused on the positive energy? But if you're like me and, you're thinking in this same light as me as I would in this situation is not everything in a relationship is going to be perfect. There's got to be disagreements. There's got to be disagreements for you to learn from them and to grow into something better. And if you're remaining happy and positive all the time, you're not growing into anything. And I think that's the problem that you have as well, is that you're thinking that this is supposed to be something that we grow into. This is something that we're supposed to, get into the struggles together, fight through it, and come out better and create happiness off of that, and not just try to create something fake and something that is not there or not true or not real. You can't just create fake happy energy, but I feel like half of these people that is in this pile is really wanting to just remain in that energy. But some of you, you got a 50-50 shot that it might work. Should pile number one talk to their partner about these traumas, about these avoidances of their truest energies? Should they talk about it? Got the 10 of Wands. And then we got the 5 of Pentacles. And then lastly, we have the Death card on top. So, if you go through this tactic, and I think this is 100% clear for both sides of the coin, that there is going to be struggle, that there is going to be a darker time, that this person is going to have to go through a death and rebirth of some sort to really focus on that energy. You're going to have to give time for this person to heal. This person might actually want to pull away from, talks or connections or things of that nature to really settle down with their energy and process this. They might even want to process this alone. They might want to just, endure all this to come out the other side and to make you happy. But each one is going to really get hit hard from these talks and from these feelings. But it almost seems clear enough that maybe this is supposed to happen. Maybe they need to be in this awakening type mode so that way they can process this and get it over with. It's going to create a struggle. It's going to create a darker time. Maybe there's going to be lower vibrational energies, which I recommend that you protect yourself during this time because it's not your energy to deal with. It's theirs. And they've got to go through this. This is something that's definitely something that they've got to go through. Okay? Let's collect these cards and try to figure out if you should stay or if you should go. All right, cards. Let's see. Should pile number one stay or should they go? Should pile number one stay or should they go? All right. We've got the Ace of Swords, the 9 of Wands in reverse, the Hermit, the Hierophant, 7 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, and the King of Wands. So I know this is going to be a hard choice to make overall for both of you. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom and the 4 of Wands, the 2 of Cups, 4 of Swords, 6 of Swords at the bottom. All these cards are really great to see because, regardless of what you choose, the outcome is going to be great for you in the end, no matter what. Because right now, these cards are telling me that, it is going to be a struggle to get to that place of whether you should stay or whether you should go, whether you should bring it up or whether you shouldn't. But I really think that, you have to stand strong with your truth and with how you feel and not allow your boundaries to really be tested as much And I think that's something that you're willing to stick up for. I think you're willing to stick up for your boundaries. I think you're willing to stick up for the money. Maybe this person is spending all their money and they're taking away your money. So I think that really you are very comfortable with sticking up for your boundaries. You're willing to give this person a second chance. You're willing to give this person, someone to lean on, someone to really vocalize their misunderstandings of their life, their traumas, their insecurities, things of that nature. Some of these people might not want to. Some of these people are avoidant. Some of these people might actually see danger within the scenario. But I think you are able to be a really strong individual in their life, someone that is promoted as, healed, independent, very, very strong, very, very thoughtful, and able to kind of show them the path, show them the rescue path that they can be led towards. And I think it's really up to you how this goes. And there's not going to be anything really lost here, because regardless of how it goes with this person, you are going to, come out strong with this person, or you're going to find the right person for you after this relationship, and it's going to be monumental. It's going to be the greatest thing that you've ever had, and it's one or the other. You're going to have the greatest thing you ever had with this person by being able to speak your truth, or you're going to have the greatest thing you've ever had by speaking your truth and leaving this person. So I think once you speak to this person and once you try to work through these problems and navigate these issues, you're going to be led the right way, because you're being led by yourself. You are creating this path. You're creating this journey. You're standing up for yourself. You're being strong, independent, like you're supposed to be. And you are going to be going in the right direction regardless. This is something that cannot be avoided. This is something that does need to be talked about. And I think that you have the potential to do that for you. And that should be what you're focused on, is more about yourself. But I don't think that you can just upend this relationship and just leave it hanging. I really do think that you have to talk to this person regardless and try to promote some good healing, promote some good honesty, promote some good clarity that this person really needs. They really need to be able to dig in towards their feelings and heal whatever they're going through or whatever they have been through. So I think that's something that is really, really important for you. Pile number one is really vocalize, really try to work through this. And if it doesn't seem like it's going to work, then you've done your part. You can move on. You can find the greatest good that is meant for you in the end. But if it does work, then you have something to work towards. You have something to really try to help build your life up to something better and great. So that's what I got for you, pile number one. Should you stay or should you go? It is totally how the conversation ends with your truth. That is your answer. Speak your truth, have this conversation, and you will find out should you stay or should you go. Half of you, I believe, will stay. Half of you probably will go. So it's really hard for me to really pin down the right answer for you, but I really do think it's based off how this person reacts to your truth and your honesty. That's really important. Stick with that, okay? Thank you so much for being here, pile number one. I greatly appreciate you being here. I hope to catch you on the next reading. Take care. Hello, my pile number twos. Welcome into your section of the video. Whether you have chosen the Crystal Visions Tarot or the Purple Mookaite Tower, welcome into your section of the video. We're trying to figure out, should you stay or should you go, relationship edition. The first question that I've already pre-shuffled the cards for is, what kind of energy are you dealing with between you and your partner that is making you question, should you stay or should you go? Let's try to flip over these cards. We've got the Seven of Swords. We've got the Strength card. Okay. Got the Five of Cups. Page of Pentacles. Chariot. All right. Interesting. So the energy that I'm kind of getting off of these cards here, we've got the Four Swords and the High Priestess at the bottom. Just want to clarify that real quick. The energy that I feel like you're dealing with, pile number 2, is that for some reason this person is not investing a lot of time into you. Maybe you don't feel like there's enough energy coming towards you from this person. And I feel like you are having a hard time remaining loyal. You're having a hard time thinking that you can just stick around and wait for just the small amount of time that you actually get from this person. It's hard for you to keep hanging on. It's hard for you to keep staying strong because, yes, you do have feelings for this person. But at the same time, maybe you doubt or question whether or not this person has feelings for you. Maybe you think that this person is too invested into whatever it is they're doing. I'm thinking that maybe this person is a little bit off of connection with you. So that could be, someone that works a whole lot, whether that be in like the military or whether that be in like a first responder type deal that I'm kind of feeling that the heavy energy from, or something like that, where they're spending a lot of hours at work. They're not having a lot of home time. They're not having a lot of you time. And it's making you really struggle with this idea of whether you should stay or not, because you're already having these feelings of maybe potentially cheating. But is it really cheating if you don't feel like you're in a relationship with this person? That is the tricky situation that I think you're in, is how do you break it off? Because this person's always on the go. This person's always moving. And maybe you don't have enough time to really talk about this energy. Or maybe this person isn't really wanting to change, but you spent a lot of time with this person. Some of you, I feel like maybe this is somebody that you have grown up with, that maybe you've created a lot of connective energy with. And there's a lot of history behind this relationship. And it's hard for you to think about staying. It really is, because there's not a lot of time invested into you. You might get a little good here, but you also have to deal with a lot of bad all the time. And you want to stay loyal to yourself more than you want to stay loyal to the relationship. So I think that's kind of the energy here. So let's see. What does pile number 2 potentially need to do to better the situation here? What does pile number 2 need to do to potentially better the situation? Okay, let's refine this question. Let's not jump the gun too quickly. Let's re-ask a question about what does the partner have on their mind? Like, what is the energy behind, this sort of like abandonment, or sort of just like not putting a lot of energy into them? What is pile number 2's partner dealing with currently that is causing conflict in this relationship? Okay. 6 of Wands. King of Wands. King of Cups. Knight of Cups. And the Unknown card. Alright, I don't think I've ever pulled the Unknown card, so I don't know exactly what it means, but I'm just going to intuitively try to figure it out, right? And based off the energy that I'm already feeling from these cards that have been laid out here, is I feel like they're struggling with their own self-worth is the biggest context here. I feel like they have a lot to prove because they don't necessarily want to accept loss. They don't want to experience loss. They don't want to, fail. And I feel like they've always struggled with emotions. They've always struggled with being compassionate. And they don't really know how to vocalize their own emotions. So I feel like they kind of run from it as well, because I feel like they've been traumatized in the past. Maybe they've been neglected throughout their childhood with emotions. and they've never really received the correct love or the correct emotions. And maybe you are probably someone that will understand this better than anybody else because you have that history with them. But I feel like they want to have more control over their future by avoiding anything that could be a catastrophe, anything that could cause self-harm or bring them back into the energy of doubting their self-worth. And I feel like they are really strong in their self-worth when they are working or whenever they are by themselves and they are just staying busy. They feel like their self-worth is amplified. They feel like they have that control. They feel like they have some sort of energy to prove. They have some sort of, I don't know, like it's weird how they're going about this energy because it doesn't really make sense to me why they feel like this is the only way they can prove that they, have something to give to the universe, that they have something to bring to the table. Maybe they feel like this is their way of showing their true emotions and showing their true compassion and love towards you is by, and maybe towards themselves too, is not only just your relationship, but also the relationship with themselves, is by doing it with work, by being a provider, by being someone that can really, help the world, but also bring money in or something of that intellect, I guess. It's really strange how they have rewired their mind to a point where they are thinking in a different way than with their actual feelings, right? It's like they're trying to use intellect or they're trying to use logic to summarize their emotions or to emit their emotions instead of doing it the right way. It's like their actions are more divine masculine. When you emit or emote love to somebody, you're doing actions through the divine feminine because you're being, emotional, you're being compassionate, you're being submissive, you're being nurturing, that kind of logic, but they're staying within their divine masculine and they're not allowing their divine feminine to come through at all. So it's a really interesting energy that they're, putting off here. So let's see. Let's pull these cards back. And then we'll get into the question of whether or not there's a way for you to fix this situation. Is there a way for pile number 2 to help address their current situation with their partner, to better the situation? What can pile number 2 do differently? What can pile number 2 do differently? All right. The Empress. 10 of Pentacles. 4 of Wands. The Devil. The 8 of Swords. Queen of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. 4 Pentacles. The Magician. And the King of Swords. All right, pile number 2. So it really shows to me that you're going to have to be the one to help your partner see it through. You're going to have to be the one to help pile number 2 or your partner to not really run anymore. Run away from the problems, run away from their emotions, run away from their divine feminine. They have to clearly see that their divine feminine is something that can be incorporated, that can be healed, that can be loved and nurtured. I feel like maybe this person doesn't really know how the divine energies work, so that might be something that has to be educated upon. But I feel like you can create a change here by allowing them to really understand who their divine feminine is, because we had the King of Wands, right, come out first, and now we have the Queen of Wands here. they need to be educated about who their divine feminine is. They need to know why they need to stop running. They need to know that they do have emotions to emit. They do have the love to give. And that love can save your relationship. That love can really come true to you to really help rescue things. And I feel like you're going to have to lay it out for them. You're going to have to create this path, whether it's through therapy or whether it's through, I don't know if you're married, but maybe marriage or relationship counseling or something of that nature, where you're going to be able to create this path of a journey of their self-healing, of this journey of healing their divine feminine, so that way they can emit these emotions and really give back to you in a loving way. I feel like things can be rescued, things can be, solved by the understanding that they are not broken, that they have the ability to change, they have the ability to grow into something that maybe they secretly have always wanted to be, but for some reason they feel like they're broken. They feel like they're, drowning, or they feel like there's just this energy of hopelessness that they just can't let go. They can't let go of the past that has created them into who they are. But I think there is a resolvement here that they can let go of this past, that they can break free from this energy. And I really think that you have that potential to allow them to see that. You have the potential to allow them to let go of the concept that they are broken, or they can't let go of the past. And you're the one that's able to, take the blindfold off, take the restraints off from them to see clearly that they can be human just like you are. Just like how you are able to bring the love to the table. It's not, and I feel like a lot of this energy is dealing with a man. The man is the counterpart of this relationship. And if it's not, this doesn't mean that it's not for you, but maybe the person that you're dealing with is just really into their divine masculine energy. But for the people that are dealing with a man, this is for you, okay? That you have got to educate them that it is okay for a man to be emotional, that it's okay, and society accepts a man to be emotional, especially if they're dealing with a line of work of military or first responders or anything of that nature, that they're okay to be emotional. It doesn't make them weak. It doesn't mean that they can't fulfill their duties of their job. They are able to be emotional. They are able to surrender and bring in their divine feminine energy to show emotion as perfectly human. They have that part inside of them. They just got to surrender and open up to it. Everybody has that. They're not broken. They can fix that energy. They can correct the relationship that they have with you by fixing this energy. It might take some time. It might take a lot of effort. It might have to be that they have to surrender the philosophy that they've been educated to from their, childhood. Maybe they were raised in a way that they were not allowed to, speak their emotions or emote their emotions, but they can. It's a new day and age here. People are allowed to speak their mind. People are allowed to act the way they want, emote the way they want, and it's accepted. They do not have to suppress anything anymore. They've got to bring it to light. They've got to heal it. And I think that you have the potential of doing that with them. So with that being said, let me collect these cards here. And let's ask the big token question here that everybody is here for this reading on. Should you stay or should you go? I feel like a lot of you have built up the energy from the energy of this reading so far. You already know the answer, but we'll just ask anyways. Should pile number 2 stay or should they go? Let's see. It's the 3 of Cups. It's a beautiful sign to see so far. We got the World card coming out. We got the Ace of Wands. Knight of Wands. The Moon. It's not a terrible Moon card. Page of Wands. The Sun. Right under the World. Ace of Swords. Four Swords. And then lastly, the Two of Wands. And then we have the Three of Wands at the bottom, the Eight of Cups, and the Fool as well. I feel like this person is capable of walking away from their past, healed, aligned, harmonized, to be able to walk into a new present future. I feel like there is a path for you, pile number 2, to stay within this relationship, to make this relationship work. You have a lot of history. You have a lot of heartfelt emotions with this person. You are connected because you all are very, very similar. You have some sort of divine connection here, and it's very beautiful to see. And I think there can be a rejoiceful outcome with you if you are able to create a path, ask for help, bring in help, speak honestly, speak fluently, give time to be able to talk proudly about the situation at hand. You're going to have to create the understanding that you need to have these discussions. You need to have these deep emotions resolved and restore passion within your relationship, restore that connection that maybe you've once had before that you no longer have now. You have to resolve the subconscious and underlying energies at hand that are promoting this person to avoid things or to feel like they have doubt about themselves or feel like their self-worth is neglected. You're able to recover this energy. You're able to resolve this energy. And it all takes time, but it all shows signs that there's going to be a rejoiceful outcome, that you're going to be able to restore balance, that you're going to be able to restore harmony, that you're going to be able to restore the passion and emotion that needs to be involved into a relationship to make it work, to make it grow, to grow fonder. There is a way for you to make it work, and I do highly suggest for you to stay through it all because it's going to give you exactly what you hope for, what your dreams are wanting to be. There can be a new future, but it all starts with your action, with your request for help from other people, whether that be a therapist, marriage counselor, relationship counselor, whatever, or whether it is educating them spiritually to bring them into a closer connection with their divine feminine. There's a lot of things at work here. There's a lot of things that can be played with to hopefully bring in the right future that you are wanting. I think you can stay within this relationship and be very, very happy, but you've got to protect your heart. You've got to involve your heart in what you want and allow that to be your purpose, allow that to be your strength, allow that to be your motivation to create this change within your relationship. Allow that to be activated based off what your heart wants, and then you will get it. And it's going to be beautiful at the end of the day. And I'm so excited for you, pile number 2, for you to stay, hopefully. Hopefully this promotes a good energy for you to stay and know that things can change. And I think you've got this. Thank you so much for being here, pile number 2. Greatly appreciate you all being here, and I hope to catch you on the next reading. Take care. Hello, my pile number 3s. Welcome into your section of the video. Whether you have chosen the Light Seers deck or whether you have chosen the Kambaba Jasper Tower, welcome into your section of the video. So glad to have you. You are here because you're trying to figure out whether you should stay or whether you should go in your relationship. The first question I'm going to ask the cards, and they've already been pre-shuffled for your convenience, of what energy you are having to deal with that is making you question whether you should stay or whether you should go. So let's go ahead and flip these cards over. Got the Moon card. Got the Nine of Pentacles. Got the Nine of Cups. Huh. Got the Ten of Swords. And the Two of Pentacles. Wow. Interesting. Very interesting energy that both the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups came out here. I'm assuming they have something to relate to the Moon card here. Think about this for a second. Try to connect with Spirit a little bit more here. I feel like the Moon card is the biggest token in this question because I feel like you are having these doubts of trust, of uncertainty, dealing with your partner of whether they can fulfill what it is that you're looking for, whether they can really give you the relationship that you're seeking. Maybe you don't feel like they are independent enough, or maybe you don't feel like you're independent enough. Maybe you're not getting the satisfaction that you need from this relationship, and maybe you are comparing it to other people. Maybe you are having doubts that this person is what you're looking for, and that maybe there's something better for you that can give you exactly what you're hoping for and what you're needing. So I feel like that is kind of the energy here, that you're having these subconscious, or maybe not even subconscious, maybe you're having these thoughts that are surface level, and they are really making you feel pressured. Maybe so much pressure that you're drowning within these thoughts, that these thoughts are something that is stimulated within your mind that you just simply can't get out of. So let's see. Let's try to find out the energy of your person and try to figure out like what they're going through to make you feel this way. What is pile number 3's partner energy right now to make pile number 3 feel this way about their relationship? We've got the Emperor, Ace of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, and the Two of Swords. Okay. Maybe they are conflicted as well. Maybe they don't know what the right thing is for you. Maybe they don't know how to treat you. Maybe they don't know how to meet your standards. I feel like they're pretty avoidant towards their emotions. They're pretty avoidant to conflict. They're pretty avoidant to emoting these emotions towards you. They also feel trapped. They also feel maybe some of the similar energies to you as, what do I do about this situation? Because if I can't live up to their expectations, maybe there's something I need to do differently. Maybe I need to act on doing something differently. And they're just really unsure about the current energy or the focus of the relationship, or if the relationship's working. Maybe they feel like they're trying and they're not sure if it's actually paying off because maybe they're not getting the response from you that they're hoping for, or maybe they're just avoidant in entirety, and maybe they don't text back as often as you would like. Maybe they don't talk about their emotions as much as you would like. Maybe they don't give you enough time, things of that nature. There's just I feel like there's a lot of energy about like a roundabout. Like you're chasing after one another. One person stops chasing and then the other person stops running. And then it's like you take turns chasing one another. And it almost seems like a, Tom and Jerry episode where you're just like chasing each other around, trying to figure out what the right energy is, what the truth is, what's going on here. It almost seems like there's too many games being played between you two. And that is, obviously giving you these doubts of whether you should stay or whether you should go. So I completely understand like where you're coming from, but I feel like a lot of this chaos could be avoided. It almost seems like this chaos is projected. It almost seems like it's something that has come alive because you allowed it to. One or the other, whether it's you or whether it's, your partner doing it, one or the other has allowed this energy to come about in the relationship. And maybe both of you have allowed it. And it's not energetically pleasing at all. And it's causing a lot of conflict between you two. Both of you are having these really sharp subconscious thoughts that are weighing you down, that are pressuring you into, these negative thoughts or these negative feelings. Both of you have similar energies towards the relationship entirely. And you're not meeting in the middle. You're not really agreeing on anything. You're seeing two different perspectives, and you're not understanding at all what the perspective is. So there's a lot of loose information, a lot of non-communication skills are happening within this connection. So let's collect these cards. Now that we see both sides of the story here. Very, very chaotic. What can pile number 3 do here to change or to resolve the situation, make the situation better? Is there anything that pile number 3 can do to help the situation? 8 of Cups, Knight of Swords, Death and Rebirth, 2 of Cups, High Priestess, Queen of Cups, the Strength card, the 3 of Cups, King of Swords, and lastly, the Knight of Wands. So I feel like both of you are learning about your own selves in this relationship. What's your weak points? What's your strong points? What your emotions are saying? What your intellect is saying? And it almost seems like you've got some things to learn within this relationship. And I really hope that this other person does the same thing. You're not responsible for this other person at all in this relationship. But I feel like you should focus on your own energy at this time and kind of reflect back into, your weak points and energies of your own emotions and kind of resonate with things. Resonate with your emotions. Let's just say if you're feeling stressed, right? And you don't know why you're stressed. At this time, it's best that you look deep within yourself and resonate with your feelings and try to figure out what the source of the stress is. What can you do differently? How can you act differently? What can you say differently to change the course of the stress coming into you? What are some things that you can work on? What are some, like I said, your weak points that maybe you can work on? If this relationship does not work, then you're going to have to learn from these things to really make your next relationship work. And I think we all have that aspect. I'm not saying that you are the one that's making this relationship not work, but I'm just saying that there is some things that you obviously have to come out of this relationship with learning and knowing to grow yourself into a better connection with yourself. So that way you create these boundaries. So that way you create, maybe a better source of communication between people and really try to grow with this. Okay. Really try to grow with the understanding of your boundaries, what you're willing to put up with, how you're willing to go about relationships, how you're willing to go about, putting energy into the relationships, and so much more. There's so much to learn from. There's so much to grow from. And I feel like once you grow from this, you will be able to create a healthier relationship with anybody. It doesn't necessarily have to be this person. I feel like you're going to create a healthier relationship with yourself and with anybody else that you come in communication with. And it doesn't even have to be a romantic one. It can literally be a friendship. It could be a work partner. It could be a mentor. Like, it literally can be a healthy relationship with anybody that you come in contact with. And that is super significant because I feel like there's things about you, personality-wise or habitual-wise, that maybe needs to be changed, maybe needs to grow. And like I said, I'm not trying to say that's a negative thing. I'm just saying that you can grow as a person. There is room for growth as a person. We never stop growing. even when we reach an elderly age. Like, we never stop growing. And that's the beautiful thing about life, is you're going to continue to learn, you're going to continue to grow. And I think this is a learning experience for you to grow into a better connection with yourself. Maybe there is some things that are being provoked from this other person and vice versa to really grow on. And I think that's, an exciting thing. At least in my eyes, it would be exciting to me to feel this energy. And I really think that's the way that you should see this connection as well. So we already have the Eight of Cups here. We already have the Nine of Swords here. I feel like there's going to be a potential of you walking away from this relationship. But let's see. I'm going to collect these cards. Let's see if I can pull the cards for the question that you are here for. And that's whether you should stay or whether you should go in this relationship. Should pile number 3 stay, or should they go in their current relationship? All right, we got the Six of Cups. Got the Four of Wands. We got the Sun card. We got the Six of Wands. King of Cups. Page of Wands. Eight of Pentacles. Nine of Cups. The Tower. And the Five of Swords. So, pile number 3. These are some really interesting cards here. And I feel like a lot of this is really expressing to me that you've got to look within yourself. You've got to, put yourself first. You got to prioritize yourself. You got to create boundaries and stay within those boundaries to protect yourself, to protect your energy, to protect your potential in your life moving forward. And really focus inwards, really focus on your energy, really focus on your emotions, really try to create positive energy in your life. If this is drowning you in negative thoughts, if this is taking you away from, the normal thoughts that you have and making you, think differently or making you see the world differently, then this relationship is not for you. This relationship is something that you should walk away from. But this relationship also should be something that you understand. You've got to understand why this person is in your life. You've got to understand this soul connection. And maybe it's not even a soul connection. Maybe this is a divine connection for you to really look within yourself, to really understand what it is you need to work on, what it is you need to heal, what it is you need to practice, what it is you need to implement in your life. There's a lot of questions that you've got to ask yourself, when you're walking away from this relationship. What do I need to do to better myself, to not allow this to happen again, to grow within the correct energy, to grow within the correct light? And you're going to see that there is things that you can do, that there is things that you can improve on and really create a better energy within yourself, really create a better individual within yourself to potentially attract the best relationship for you next. You've got to clear up any miscommunications. You've got to clear up any misunderstandings, any energies of where you're confused, and learn from this energy. And if you have any questions that are related to this reading or that is spiritual related, comment down below. Don't be afraid to ask these questions, and hopefully I can help you understand better of why this person might be in your life or where you're going in life and things of that nature. But, don't be afraid to ask questions. You're allowed to ask questions. Even if you're breaking up with somebody, you're allowed to ask them, kind of like how, you get a survey whenever you purchase something on Amazon, or if you get a receipt from, any sort of store that does these surveys. Most stores do surveys nowadays. And it's like a review of what they did right, what they did wrong, how can they better the experience. And I think that's something that you can do with this partner, is by asking them questions about what it is that you can improve on. And hopefully they can improve on things too. They should be able to. And, have that better clarity and understanding of where you're going with this life that you have in your hands. And just try to be the best version of yourself, so that way you can attract the best outcome for yourself, to attract the life that you want for yourself. You have that obligation, you have that priority to do what's best for you in creating the best life for you. And you've got to work on that. And by working on that, you've got to work on yourself. It's not just going to come to you. It's not just going to heal you automatically. You've got to do the work behind it. And I think you can. But sometimes it comes with, like an ego death, or it comes with destroying something in your life and starting over, like a relationship. And I really see that that's the potential here, that you're going to finally understand that there's something that you're avoiding here in this relationship and that you need to walk away from. And you're just not being the truest version of yourself. And you need to find that truest version of yourself and heal your way to that and grow and learn these things that this person could probably teach you in understanding boundaries, ways to emit emotions, understanding of yourself, your future, your interests, things of that nature. You've got to come to that conclusion. You've got to come to that understanding, and I think you can. Pile number 3. And I wish you the best of luck. I hope this reading wasn't too harsh on you. It wasn't my intention to get, nitty gritty. And I think you should take it in a positive light for sure. So hopefully it makes it to you well and you receive this message well. But it's supposed to be positive. It's supposed to be uplifting, because you have the power to create the best outcome in your life. You have the power to attract positivity. You have the ability to create a positive change within your life, pile number 3. And that's what you should take away from this message. Stay true to yourself, stay true to your heart, and grow within your own light. Thank you so much, pile number 3, for being here. I really hope you enjoyed this message and that you resonate. And I hope to catch you on the next reading. Take care.